Well, welcome to the channel. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me and coming in. Some of you might be hurting right now. You've had some situations in your relationship that haven't been favourable for you. Things possibly could have been different and could have been better. I reach out to you and ask you not to grow weary. Don't grow weary and hang in there. I'm not sure what your circumstances are or situation is. Might be an ex has met somebody else. Might be somebody has passed away unexpectedly or expectedly through sickness. Could be a number of things. It could be you've loaned money to someone, they haven't paid it back. Could be that you've had an accident and you're not going too well with that. Whatever it is, hang in there and don't grow weary. Things will turn around eventually for you if you give it time. Proverbs 25:17. Seldom set foot in your neighbour's house, lest they grow weary and hate you. Very interesting scripture. This one speaks about familiarity breeding contempt. And this can happen, sometimes it can happen by way of human nature in a relationship where people aren't cut out to see each other as much as what they are. They're just not set up psychologically to be able to do that. They're just not, they haven't got the blend. Two people haven't got the blend, or it's just the way somebody has become and they need their space, and you're trying to set foot into their life where they possibly need a rest or some space, or the message has gone out, I need to have some room, or I only want to see you on such and such a date or such and such a time. These things happen, and they happen quite a bit. And sometimes we don't get the message. Sometimes people do grow weary because we can push ourselves onto people. Now, this is not what happens to everyone. There are some people that blend together beautifully. They love to be together, they love to hang out together, they love to watch movies together and cook together and eat together and be together. There are these people out there, and that is the dream relationship. To be able to come home and to see your neighbour, your partner, and to be one with them and to thrive, and to not grow weary, and to not lose love and allow it to turn to hate. See, this is what is known as the devaluation stage in a narcissistic relationship, where one person's setting foot into the relationship on a regular basis while the other one's growing weary. The relationship's wearing down for that person. And this can cause tremendous trauma. It can cause a psychological collapse for the person that's trying to bond, to unite, to be one with their partner, but the other partner's falling away. There's a distance, there's an emotional message going out that I don't really want to connect like this anymore. There's a wearing away from the relationship, there's a break, there's a distance. And now there's a seldom part to the relationship where we seldom, we're not getting along as well as we used to. What's wrong? Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it is a good idea to give our partner space, to give them room to breathe, to give them room to recalibrate, to give them room to reassess, to trust that whatever the result's going to be, for you or against you, that it's for the best. But we must be careful not to try and push. I remember in my first marriage when things started to go downhill, I couldn't, the pastor and the counselors that were speaking to me were saying, give us space, give us space. But there was something inside me that was saying, no, do more, do more, do more, do more. And at that time, I didn't get it. The best thing to do was to give her space, and I didn't do it. And she wore out with it all. It wasn't like you're smothering the person or anything, but it just got to the point where there was so much going on, turmoil and things like this, and probably I could have been a better husband, I suppose. Not that I drank or gambled or was on drugs or anything, but I was so busy doing other stuff that I guess to a high extent I neglected my wife, and she didn't appreciate that. So in that falling away where she had grown weary, where she had grown tired, where she had worn out a bit, pressing in didn't help the situation. In fact, sometimes pressing in can make you come across as weak, insecure, not confident, codependent, controlling. Some people, when they need space and you keep setting foot into their life, you can come across as someone that's too overbearing at that point, under the pressure and the circumstances where the person needs space. They begin to grow weary. Please, just give me some space. By nature, I think we believe that we do have to try harder sometimes, but sometimes the situation's not calling for that. This could be a personal issue that they're having within themselves. It could be an illegitimate issue that's not of the good kind of thing that you want to have to deal with, where there's somebody outside the relationship, and this is causing distance. Things haven't been resolved the way that they should, be it on your part or the person's part, sometimes other person's part. Sometimes people that can't resolve things look for self-soothing outside the relationship with somebody else. Someone will come along that they haven't got issues with. Someone will come along that's just got the right words to say at the right time, at the right moment, and the next thing, your partner, who has grown weary and is hating you at that time, is now with somebody else. If we keep pushing, if we keep trying, and things aren't right, and things aren't resolved, and we don't show a stance. You see, setting foot is about stance. If we don't show a stance that we are prepared to step back, we are prepared to take stock, we are prepared to understand the situation, not in a desperate way, but in a wise way. Sometimes our devotional loyalty drives us towards the other person in a way in which we actually are pushing them away, like a person pushing a lawnmower. We just keep pushing it, but we're pushing it away. So we have to sometimes become seldom. I've always said that in some cases, distance and space is the best gift you can give to your partner. And in really serious situations, sometimes just leaving their life is a good thing to do, because the leaving and the reason for the leaving could be the only opportunity for your partner to understand that this is something that they really need to change. Seldom set foot in your neighbour's house, lest they grow weary and hate you. We can wear out. We can become despising and conceited and contentious, and we can become a person that starts to push the other person away, and that requires space. It requires us to become seldom. It requires us to be able to show our confidence in ourselves without the other person being there. Sometimes just our over-dependency on the other person can send a message to that person that possibly they're more grandiose than what they really are, and we can deceive that person into thinking that we're just an actor in their movie. We're just playing a part in their game of chess. We're just a pawn that's out in the battlefield for someone that's a king or a queen. We can present ourselves and groom our partner into believing that we are less than what we really are. Human nature can grow weary, and human nature can turn to hate. That's what it's all about. It's about destroying things. And the antidote to that is to be seldom. Give the person space. Allow that person to recalibrate and come back to appreciating you. And if they don't appreciate you after that, then you know that whatever the mistake was, or whatever the reason was, whatever the unresolved was, whatever's happened, that by becoming seldom and giving them space, you had the maturity and understanding and life experience to realize that this was the fork in the road. This was the place where the relationship was either going to be destroyed by hate, or by becoming seldom and not setting foot or going overboard in their life, lest they grow weary and hate you. It was an opportunity by your absence to allow them to see how much they love and appreciate you. I'm Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.